What's up, y'all? My name is Ross Swinson. Today we're going to learn the intro to Dream On by Aerosmith. But before we do that, if you enjoy our content, please give us a like, a comment, a subscribe, and you can check us out on YouTube memberships and Patreon as well. But that's it. Let's jump into the explanation. Okay, so this song is in F minor, and we're going to start out with this D minor shape here, and that is on the 4th fret of the high E string, the 6th fret of the B string, and the 5th fret of the G string. That's like a D minor chord, like down here, but what we're doing, our root note is on the B string. And since we're in F minor, this 6th fret on the B string is F, so this is an F minor chord. The first thing you want to do is just go through the chords themselves before you add the strumming pattern or the picking pattern. So you have this F minor, and this is a C minor here. It's just kind of like a little 3-2-1 thing. You get 5G, 4B, 3E, and that's based around this A minor shaped chord here. Now this is where it gets a little funky. So this here is like kind of a D half diminished chord, and then I don't know. This is a weird one here. You get a C sharp, or a D flat, and a G. So I'm kind of like, well, that could be a few different things. But I think the important thing here is to know that you kind of have this chromaticism thing happening. And that's really the point of it. I don't think they're thinking too hard about what chords they're doing. So from that C minor, you just flip-flop these two fingers. So now you got 5, 3, 4, and then you just move them down a fret. And I like to switch my 3rd finger with my pinky for that chord because it's just a little easier. So F minor, C minor, D half diminished over C, kind of something. I don't know. If you know what this chord is, let me know in the comments. It's hard sometimes when there's like 3 notes in a chord because it could be any number of things if it's not a triad. Now we're going to go from this F minor, and we're just going to add the 6th fret on top, and then the 8th fret on top. So again, I like to switch my position, but if you are okay with the stretch, it might be easiest to do that. I don't really, that's uncomfortable to me, so it just depends on if it's easier for you to stretch than it is for you to switch all your fingers, then try the stretch, but either way works pretty well. Okay, and that kind of repeats mostly. The strumming pattern is pretty simple on it. You're just doing the B and E string and then the G string, and you're just going back and forth between those. I think I was hybrid picking it a little bit, doing it sort of like that. You could pick it if you want to, doesn't really matter, but the whole point is just B and E and then G. And you do that twice on each chord. Whoops, sometimes you hit the D string on accident. So on this last one, 1, 2, and then you just hit that B and E and let it ring out. So now into the repeat. All this part's the same. And now is where it changes. It goes, so you have, and I think in the playthrough, I actually did this with the stretch, and that's because if you think about this part, you have this F minor, and you have these 2 notes that you're kind of like changing on the E string, and it's just going between those. So you have, so that can be easier in a sense than switching, but if it switches, or if you switch, it looks like this. So that can be a little acrobatic, just getting that switch really fast. So anyways, again, that sounds like a... Now we're going up to a little double stop on 9B and 8E. And then we're gonna go. So that's just like 9 and 8, 8s, slide down to 6 and hit 6 again. And then we go into this little part. That's just one measure of eighth notes from 6 to 5. I think the guitar is actually doing that, but it has the keyboard behind it. So if you're playing it by yourself and you want it to sound more like the song, you could go back to this one too. Little trick that's kind of fun. So you have like, and you could go. Okay, so that's most of the intro with the chords. This next part is probably the hardest part. It's kind of this like harmonic minor lick that he plays after all of that. So you got starts off harmonic minor, ends natural minor. So let's break that down. Most of this is on the B string. And this is just how I learned it. To be honest, I'm not sure if he plays it all on the B string, but to me it sounds like he does because he's got sort of this sliding up type of thing happening. But it starts out on the G string. You've got this thing, and then from there you go. So 6, 5, 3, 5, 6, and then let's see. That's kind of all one phrase to me. That's 5, 6, 8 on the B string. So 6, 5, 3, 5, 6, 5, 6, 8. Now, in this lick, you want to use a lot of legato. So slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs are all your friend. He's not like, he's not picking every note. It's a lot more legato, connected sounding. Okay, so after, now we're going to do 6, 8, 9, 8, 9, 11, and then we're doing these little trills descending. Well, let me play the whole ascending thing for you one more time. So you can see in each one of these little series, I'm only picking one time really. Just do whatever feels natural, but definitely lots of slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. Now with the descending part, you're doing like hammer pulls. So it's going to be 9 and 11, 8 and 9, 6 and 8. And this is the natural minor part. Before we were playing the 5th fret, but we're actually going back to 4. So that's like the flat 7 in your natural minor scale versus the natural 7. So 4 and 6. And then you're going to slide from 2 to 1 to 13. So that's kind of a hard thing to do. Kind of overshot at that time. Whoops. Now, here's a little tip. I remember being in a lesson one time. I was taking classical guitar lessons, and I had to do some kind of really long slide like that. And I was doing it like this. I was watching my finger the whole time, like I'm trying to follow the baseball onto my glove or something, or onto my bat. And my instructor said, no, you gotta turn your head. You gotta look there before you actually are sliding up there. So I said, okay, and I just kind of did this. I like looked with my eyes, and he said, no, physically turn your head. So what I started doing instead is you go, I'm actually like, I mean, you can see I'm like zooming in on that spot, you know? That's like in the center of my vision now. And if you do that, it's going to be a lot easier to hone in on that fret, and you can almost slide from as low as possible to as high as possible, and it's going to be pretty accurate if you have it right in the center of your vision. So when you're practicing this, you can almost think of it like 3 different motions, right? 2, 1, head turn, 13, you know? And that is it. All right, y'all, that was the intro to Dream On by Aerosmith. If you liked this, you can smash on that like button, comment, subscribe, YouTube memberships, Patreon, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next video.